Först. Och så. Up and we are live. Hi everyone, this is Eva from Heart to Heart, and today I have a marvelous guest from Sweden, Carina Hammarsten. Welcome, Carina.
Hello, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. I'm so excited to have you here because you are a huge way shower here in Sweden, and it's so blissful for me to introduce you to the English speaking members of this group and other groups too. So we are going to start with this interview. So I usually ask the questions, Carina, on who are you? So who are you, Carina?
Well, I'm going to do this in English and I'm going to say that I am a spiritual mentor, a Reiki teacher, Reiki master teacher therapist, and I do also instant transformation since 2 years ago. So I work with the spirit world, I work as a medium, I work as a mentor for personal development in a deeper way on all levels, mental, physical, hur säger man det då? Mental, physical, emotional and soul, in the soul. So all 4 levels I work with. I work with the whole person on all levels to help them to find their inner strength, their potential, and their own spirituality.
Because you are a truly a way shower for a lot of people, because you have been in this business for a long time. Or should I rather call it spiritual quest, because you are brought into this by birthright like everybody else, but you have been in touch with the energy since you were a small child. I've been doing a short interview with Carina on my Swedish page, so I do know a bit about her history, and it's so fascinating. So what you have described here is everything that you are working with today and what you are offering your clients today, and you have a huge repertoire of qualified tools to work with. So I would like to drop back to how your spiritual journey actually started and how you have moved up to where you are right now. And for those who doesn't know it, Carina has this platform of educational tools, and you are the largest provider of those tools here in Sweden, and I'm pretty sure in Scandinavia too.
Yep.
Yep. So that is what we are ending up in when we have had this beautiful journey with you. So if we're dropping back to your journey when it started, because I do know that you have a lot of beautiful memories of the spiritual world since you were a kid.
Yes, it all started when I was 6 years old. I was on my way to school with some school friends. We were 6 or 7 years old, and behind us there was a man, older man, coming behind us, walking behind us, about 10 meters away from us, and he shouted to us, "Can you see the angels?" And we stopped and we looked back and we saw this huge angel, and it was about 20 meters high and the wings were about 10 meters wide. So that was my first contact with my angel, and that's Archangel Gabriel, who has been with me since that day. And and this was my first experience of the angels. So when I was a little older, I experienced from being in the forest one day after school, and I was all alone, only with my grandmother's cat, and we were in a forest where there were small ponds of water, and if you stood in the pond, you could drown. And I was only 6 years, and I went a little bit too far in the pond, and my foot just dived in. So the only thing I thought was, well,
It was like a swamp.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I thought, well, what's going to happen now? I was scared, and in that moment, I saw this really bright light coming at me, and the cat was beside me, and I felt like someone took my hand and lifted me up from this pond. And all of a sudden I stood beside the pond, and I didn't know how I got there. But the cat was almost like saying to me, come on, let's go home. You are all wet and we can't be here now. So we went home, and my mother wondered where I have been. And so I told her that I had been in the forest, and she was not quite so fond of it. But I had this wonderful experience, and I felt the love of the angel who helped me up from this pond. So that
Was it
was
Gabriel that time too, or did you have an
yeah,
encounter with
I
someone
think it
else?
was. I think it was.
Mm.
Mm.
I still got goosebumps even this time when you are talking about this, and the first encounter that you had, that you were, yeah, that someone was shouting out to you that there was a huge angel in your 20 meters from you. What I love about that is that you were not alone. It wasn't that you just heard someone or thought you saw someone. You actually had your friends with you, and everybody had the same experience as you did. Everybody saw this huge light being, and that is ain't that the ultimate, how should I say, the confirmation of that angels are present when you can share that experience with someone else in the moment when it happens. So I do love that story. So what did you thought? I mean, you were 6 years old, and you have just have this two rather huge experience with the spirit world. So how did you approach it? Because kids usually feel so much closer to the spirit realm and than the grown-ups do. So what was your thought? How did you move on from that? I mean,
Well, I don't remember what I thought, but it was a natural thing for me. So for me, it was something like it should happen. And I wasn't scared or anything, or I wasn't concerned, because the love and the warmth and the vibration from this angel filled me with this
mm,
energy. So it was a really nice feeling, and I felt really cared of, so to speak. So I knew from that point of view that this angel was going to be with me my whole life.
mm. And that angel has been with you your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a kid, it was a natural environment to be around these beautiful energy beings. But you grow older, So what was the next step? How did your journey continue from there?
Well, the next thing that happened is a stronger connection for the spirit world. So I was 17 when I got a message from my 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 mother's best friend who had passed away in cancer. She came to tell me that my father's brother had passed away and he was all alone in his apartment. So I called my mother and she said, no, we don't know. So they called my grandfather and told them to go to my my father's brother's apartment to look if he was okay, but he wasn't. That was the first message from or death message that I got. And then I told my guides not to tell me about these messages because that's not what I want to know. I want to know about development, personal development, but not sickness or death or something like that. So the next step from there was when I was 25, I did my first out of body experience. I had 3 in a row, I guess it was. And that also came naturally for me, but that wasn't something that I thought this I want to do a lot of, because I had this experience that my body was very cold and very stiff when I came back in my body from an out of body experience. So that wasn't not something that I was happy to do. It came spontaneously and I was not prepared for it, but I was happy and thankful to have experienced it. I
So
guess.
how was that experience for you? Because sometimes when I have had out of bodies experience through a meditation, then I can perceive myself as standing outside myself in the room that I'm sitting and meditating. So, but I can also have the awareness and that I'm actually high above, like a city, watching the streets, and I can see the buildings, but from a higher level. And I do know that a lot of people get this out of body experience and travel to other realities and have communication with other collectors. So how was it for you?
Well, it was all the 3 times I was. It was like a tunnel that I saw through, and I could hear the sound from swooshing.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and this tunnels like this. When I saw, I couldn't see anything in the perspective. So. And then I sat in the ceiling to see myself in my bed, but I never flew out of the apartment. I
Mm.
was in the apartment all of the time, and I remember coming back to my body. I thought, how is this going to happen? Do I just flow down, or do I have to poke and try to force myself in my body? But the mind was faster, so I just thought it and I landed in my body. But I was very cold and very stiff, and I had a pulse that was very slow. So for me, that was not the heavenly experience for me. Spontaneously do this out of body experience. I wish I had did it in a meditation, so I was aware of what happening.
Mm.
So mm,
I find it kind of interesting, and I do love it when you're talking about this, because I get these flashbacks back from some of my memories that aren't constantly in my mind. I try to go inside. I just have to share this with you. I try to go inside a meditation because I've also heard, since I've been a part of spiritual communities for a very long time, and people have always told me to not to do these things without having a teacher around. And when people say that, I need to, to try and see what's actually happening without, yeah, to see how I cope with it. And so I did this meditation, and when you said tunnel, I get this flashback. I did a painting about it during the 90s. There was a tunnel, but for me, it was a very colorful tunnel. There were a lot of colors spinning round, but I didn't see anything around. It was just a tunnel system, and it was a high speed, I just saw everything was swishing past with these colors just swirling around me. And then suddenly there was this huge light with two eyes popping up in the corner, or what I should say, when the tunnels were splitting. And I got so spooked, Carina. So bam, I was back in my body. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be more humble about this, because it's actually real. It's actually real doing this traveling. And I haven't thought about that memory for a very long time. So thank you for reminding me of my experience there.
Yeah.
So, but did you see the colors too?
No, I did not see any colors because I was in my apartment, so I
Yeah,
flew around in every room in my apartment.
yeah.
But the thing is that around this tunnel, the pictures of my room got cloudy, so I didn't see it quite clear. It was a little bit cloudy, but I could see when I flew. I flew into the kitchen and then in the living room, and it was very fast, but just this tunnel and these cloudy pictures. So
Wow.
no colors for me.
But I love the concept that you actually can push yourself or your consciousness out of your body, your physical body. But because to me that is once again another confirmation that you are so much more than your physical body, and you actually have this etheric body working in the same way, slightly in the same way as your physical body. So, well, that's very interesting. So that was your out of body experience. What
Yes.
happened next?
Next, I would say I was on a course with 7 other women. We were at a course for Reiki and even personal development. And our teacher said that we were going to do a meditation. And we only had these candlelights because she was allergic to energies, or how do you say, electricity.
Yeah.
So we had the whole room full of lights, candles, and we sat around these candle lights, and there was a woman who sat next to me that had a boy who was very sick, and he was, I think, 7 or 8 years old. And she was on this course, Reiki course, because she was going to learn about Reiki, so she could help him, give him healing, and so we sat on this meditation, and the meditation was going. We were going to let go of everything we didn't need in this life, that we carry on, fear or every stuff that can blockage our energy in our bodies. So she started the meditation, and we all sat with closed eyes, and all of a sudden she says to everyone in the room, well, now you can open your eyes and look at Carina. And I thought, why is everybody going to look at me? What is wrong with me? Am I doing it wrong, or what is it? So she told me, Carina, take your hands. And I sat with my eyes closed. Take your hands and put them in front of your face like this. So I did. The room was very dark. And when I came up with my hands, my palms, I could see a light from the palms. And I thought, how is that even possible? Because I don't have any lights in my hand, but it was like flashlights right in front of my eyes. So everyone in the room said, wow, what is happening? What is happening? And the woman who sat next to me said, wow, I can only feel this warmth and love. And she had tears in her eyes. And even I had tears in my eyes. They were just, I just cried, but I was sad. So anyway, our teacher said, well, we can close our eyes and we try to focus on what is happening in this room now. And then she said to me, Carina, let go of every fear, every thought that wasn't going to help you in the future. So let go of everything that doesn't align with your life right now. And I thought and I visualized and I thought, okay, I'm going to let go of this bag I have on my this backpack that I have been carrying so many years. So I did. And in that moment, I was really, really warm in my whole body. And I felt like I was burning. It was a lovely sensation and all full of love, but in the same time, it was like fire inside of me. And when the meditation was over, my teacher told me that you had an archangel standing so close to you that he or she, I don't want to know, and I don't want to say if there is a woman or a guy, a man, but this huge angel came and how do I put it? It was like the angel's energy got into me and lit up my whole body to cleanse my body from all the things in this backpack that I didn't need in my future life, because I got my calling that I was going to help people to awaken their personal development and spirituality and find their inner strength and potential, because this was that is something that I have done all my life since I was a small child, help people. So the woman who sat next to me said that this was an experience she has never been aware of before. She had never been near this kind of love that she felt when she sat next to me. And the course day was over and we went home, and 2 weeks later we were back at the course because we are going to do step 2 in Reiki. And this woman tells us that when she came home, I think it was the next day or 2 days after, the doctors went like this. They scratched their heads and wonder what had happened, because this boy has been, how do you say it?
Miraculous healed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was so relieved and so thankful for this had happened, because she felt like this energy was even passed on to him so that he could heal.
Yeah.
And that gave me goosebumps, because I thought, well, there must be something important if this angel comes right through me and gives me this energy to give me this calling to do what I do today. So that was a really lovely sensation to feel an angel that close to me.
Yeah, I'm getting shivers once again. I get a lot of shivers when I'm talking to Carina, because that is so inspiring, and I can almost visualize when you're telling me. I get my own pictures in my head of how it would have looked like, when you're sitting there and the lights are more or less pouring out of your hands, and this beautiful being just entering your field. And that is Wow, I do love these stories because that is not only, these significant happenings and that's it, because the journey is an ongoing process from the early age up to when you have these encounters. So there's a lot of how do you say, spiritual development between those markers that are more or less the highlights of your spiritual journey. But it
Mm.
doesn't end there, because that's when you thought like, yep, I do know that I have a contact with the angelic realms, and you're a healer. You have had your medium experience with the connection and communication with the spirit world. So how did you go from there?
Well, next step, I guess, is well, which one were you thinking of? Because
Oh, go with what pops into your mind.
yeah, well, I think one of the things were when I was in a car accident.
Mm,
I wasn't driving the car myself. My boyfriend from that time drove the car, and we didn't have our seat belts on. So a very clear and strong voice in my head said, "Put on your seat belt." So I took the seat belt and I took it and yeah, put it on me and hook it. And seconds later, the car went up for vad
spin.
säger man?
Spin.
Four spins and landed on the roof. So we
Oh,
hang upside down. And when the ambulance and the fire department came, they said, if you didn't have the seatbelt on, you would be outside the front window with your neck broken, and you shouldn't have lived today. So that was also a very clear voice telling me, put on your seatbelts.
mm,
So that I did. And then I woke one day where I live here now, very early one morning, and I thought, well, if anyone is sleeping other than me, I could sit here and meditate and put on some music and just write stuffs that comes. So that was next encounter of Archangel Gabriel, who came and let me write down this spiritual inner travel. That is a kind of session that I do as a mentor with my clients. And I almost feel like that is an out of body experience, but you are in a spiral that goes upwards. And this spiral, I start with my left hand, my left palm. So I don't sit with clients physically at my place, because I do it on a distance. So every client I have worked with, I think it's almost 100 persons now, 100 clients that has done this spiritual inner travel. And they are sitting maybe in Luleå, and I am in Borås. And I put their body, etherical body or energy body, and put them in the spiral together with me, and we travel together. And in that space, I see and feel and smell, and the client does the same. So we synchronize in this energy. So we see and feel and smell the same things.
mm. You can
And
almost say that you are connecting within a quantum field.
yeah,
Um,
that's correct.
Mm.
And I think I want to say that out of body experience is almost the same as I do these spirals, because my physical body is here, but my energy body, etheric body, is at this place where my client is, because several of the clients have said Well, I saw you standing beside me
Mm.
in my room when we did this travel. And so I don't look all the same. I usually have either a black dress or a white dress, but I have this long hair longer than I have today, and it's almost darker. But otherwise, I look like I look today. And that's when I thought maybe there is uh, a form of out of body experience, but I do it like this instead of like that one that I had a bad experience because I got stiff and cold when I got back to my body. Here I can travel, but I travel in my mind and with my energy body. So I don't have to be either cold or stiff when I get back, so to speak.
Yes.
So I think it's a little bit of out of body experience at the same time as you work in the quantum field.
And definitely, and I love, for myself, I love distance work, and I do know that sometimes that people are questioning whether it works or not. But if you are experiencing an encounter with a light being, you have already there a distance experience because we are not working in the same field. So it's an energetic field that we are passing through. So, and when we have these dreams, when we are transporting ourselves into other realities, or we can see things that happen on other places, remote viewing, and so on, you are also using senses. So therefore, I think that we are so used to limit our beliefs on what we are capable of do. But I do know that a lot of people get this physical reaction or vivid dreams of having their healer, because for me it's usually healing when I'm working with distance healing, and they get dreams. I can share one about my grandmother. I sent healing to her, and I do know that I had permission to do that, but I didn't tell her that I was doing it. So she called me the day after, and she said, I was dreaming about you tonight. And I was like, oh, really? And I didn't connect myself that I have had this healing session with her. And she said, yeah, you entered the room and you had a shot needle with you, and you gave me a shot in the butt cheek. And I was like, really? And that is such a lovely confirmation, because that for her is healing. You get a shot and you get well. So that is a beautiful confirmation, and it works. And the beauty is that you can be here in Sweden and you can use this distance energy and connect with people around the globe, wherever they are. And that is such a powerful feeling to know that we are connected all over the globe and in every realm around. I do love it. And we are going to talk a bit more about what you are actually working with today. But I think that there's something, what you didn't start your business at that age with that experience. No, because there was something more that happened. Will you share it?
Yeah, I started my business 2014 because I have had fibromyalgia, I guess it's called in English, and very severe chronic pain in my body, and I did use Reiki and gave myself Reiki, and I stopped with all the pills that is for chronic pain, because I felt like, no, I can't eat this and be clear in my head. So I stopped it and I started working out um, at the gym, and I gave myself healing Reiki. And therefore I thought maybe this is what I'm going to do to help people, because almost everybody who comes to me since I started 2014 February are hur säger man det då? um, not working because they have this sickness, fibromyalgia or chronic pain. And when they have come to me for either mentoring sessions or at my courses, they get back to work. And some of them even start their own business and live through my visions for helping others. Because I think that we have to help each other and we have to cooperate as much as we can. Many people say that if you're alone, then you are very strong, but no, one is not strong. We have to see the whole big picture and the whole, we have to see every level of the human being, not only just the mind or the physical body, because we are so much more, like you said before. And we need to start to see that we can work with healing energy and even the quantum field to help each other rise above and be strong as humans, but also strong as souls, because we have this all these tools. And I know many people say, well, either you have one or two tools, or you have only one, or you have them all. I think I can say that I have these four tools that we are going to have as a medium: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and what is the fourth in English?
Hearing, seeing, feeling, and
Smelling.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess it is.
yeah. But I think that we have so much more. We have at least four more tools to work in the quantum field, to work in the energies, in the frequencies. So when I meet people who says, no, there is not such a thing that you can do healing and you can heal, or you can be well from it, or you can send healing on a distance. As you said before, we are so much more than just physical beings, and I think it's time for the world to start to see what we really can do and how much we have inside us of these tools, even when we were born here. Because as a medium or spiritual mentor, everyone can be it, everyone can develop that. But I think many people, or I hear often, oh, it's just you who can do this, and that person can do that, but I can't. Everyone can it. Everyone can develop their own inner personal development, and everyone is unique. Therefore, I think that I don't have to compete with anyone. I have had this privilege of working with Archangel Gabriel, and when I do Reiki healing or quantum healing, I work with Metatron, and I see this rutmönster, hur säger man det då? I see this grid.
Yeah.
And I can even get messages 2 or 3 days before a client comes to me for a session or for a healing or a regression past life, what that person needs, that client's needs, and what they need to work on, what they need to look at and work with. So I think that we are all connected somehow in this energy, and we are all from the same universe. So I feel that we need to see the connection between us and think that the more we cooperate, the more stronger we will be, and the more light we will get and rise. So yeah, we need more light in this world today, in this society, for everyone to lift themselves up and they need to do the work themselves, but everyone I work with have done the work themselves. It's not me doing the work for them, because they need to do it themselves, because they have to feel the strength is real, that they do this work and they can do it and they live it. So it's up to the client to do the work.
So you're offering tools for them to use, and I feel that this is such a important message that you are actually bringing forth today, and I'm feeling myself nodding with my head, and yeah, that's the message for today, because I so support every word that you say. There is this saying that if you're to be alone is to be strong, but I totally agree with you. We need to work more together and energetically together, and there is no competition. This is a birthright. Everybody is born into this realm, our world that we are living in, and we are all having the same opportunity to express our spirituality, and we are unique, so therefore we are expressing it in different ways. So instead of giving the bad look to other people, enjoy their success, enjoy their creativity, enjoy their business and everything around it, because that is the power, and yeah, support, energetically supporting each other. I love that. We are not strong when we are alone. We can be strong in a sense, but together it's the time to work together. That is the New Earth community. We need to connect with each other one way or the other, and have some co-working to get ourselves moving forward. And I do love it. So thank you so much for bringing that up, because I think it's very important to understand that we can be our own spirit-led entrepreneurs, but we can still work together, and there is no competition. We are just experts on our own field, and we are sharing the tools for those whom are drawn to us. I love that. And with that said, I'm going to open up your Facebook group, because you are on Facebook and you are definitely on a homepage. And I'm going to open up that too, because your homepage is spiritual.now, right? Yeah, .now. So there is a huge page. Let me see if I can share that screenshot. Share. Yeah, there we are. This is your platform that you are working from.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
And there is so much, and it's on Swedish, but we will guide you through this, because you are providing healing, you're providing your spiritual development for people who are searching their own spiritual quest and want to develop that. You are a personal coach, but it all connected to the multidimensional being that you are living here on earth. You have spiritual mentor coach, and that is an education that is taking place over a year. So you can say that you have your own, not high school, how should I say, academic. You have your own, academic. And you also have pop-up courses and events and mediumship. So where should we start? Is there something that you, oh yes, I do know what I want to go with this, because 2 weeks ago, you had a workshop here in Sweden with a
English
guest.
speaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So will you share a bit about that? Because
Yeah,
I love this.
it was an a trans healing seminar with Andrei Georgievich from, he is an SNUD teacher from Arthur Findlay College in Stansted, England. So he came here and he did a memorable weekend course for us, and he held a space of energy and frequencies that no one had ever experienced. He is very strong and focus-minded teacher that also, like me, likes to share everything that he has learned, everything that he has discovered, or every quality he has himself, he likes to share with others. And that's also like me. I like to, every course I have, every workshop or guiding I do it with my own experiences, and no one can say, I cannot say if that is for everyone else, but it's mine experience. And this is like Andre, he showed us what his guide Michael does, and he had 1 whole hour that I video recorded with him letting Michael talk through him.
Wow.
And that experience was something else, because those energies that Michael let us feel in the room, we were 28 people in the room, and that was the most wonderful feelings of energy and frequencies that I ever experienced, because it was like gold metallic, and it was, the room was filled of these energies, and these how should I put it, it was guides all over the room who were gold glitter energy. So that was totally wonderful for all the students, and even for me, because it was now about 3 years ago since I was at Arthur Findlay College and met him for the first time. And he's the most generous and kind and loving teacher I have ever worked with. So
and the meeting, when you actually met him the first time, will you share about that? And will you talk a bit about what Arthur Findlay's College is?
yeah,
because I don't think so many have heard about it. It's a huge college, but I do know that there's a lot of people who doesn't know what Arthur Findlay College is. So
okay, yeah, Arthur Findlay College is a place like Harry Potter's house, if you want to say it like that, because everyone is almost calling it Harry Potter's house. But it's a big house with for the first time I was there and I set my foot inside the house, I could feel the energy field and vibration changing my vibration inside my body. So it's a huge energy field all over this house. And I don't know how many teachers there are, but I guess 50-60 teachers, but not at the same time, but 50-60 teachers in different ages who teaches mediumship, trans mediumship, trans healing, and shamanic courses. Everything is there in that place. And that was the first time I came down. And the same week I was there in July, it was that very hot summer. We had over 42 degrees in England. And I had my birthday the same week, 26th of July. And the course we went on was the Great Summer Healing Celebration. So they teach us a lot of healing, different healing techniques, and even trans healing, trans mediumship. So I was this close to let some energy talk through me, but I chickened because the energies are so strong, and my psoriasis is sky high after this. So I didn't let them get in my body and talk through me. But Andre came through, and I had I thought of different things before I came down to Otterfinley. I thought maybe this is not the place for me because I'm not that good at this like every other people is. But when I came down, I had this question. I wanted to know if someone teacher down there could answer me why I or how I can work in these different dimensions that I do, and what the angels were wanted me to do. And I didn't ask these questions. I just had them inside of me, and we sat down after a course, and we took coffee and sat down and chatted a little bit. And then Andre came through, and he said to me, you have some questions you want answer to. And he started to explaining for me about how my energy was compatible with one of the trans mediums that have been, I think, 100 years ago at Arthur Findlay College. It was a very old picture of a woman. And I said, no, I had not been here before. Well, you have. And we can recognize your energy. And this is why you work in these dimensions and do this and that. And the archangels want you to. And he explained everything to me without me asking anything. So I thought, maybe I should be here. Maybe this was my place to be this summer. And the next day, I remember I had my birthday, and we were going into their shop that they have down there. They have these wonderful crystals and books and tarot cards and everything. And there was one girl working behind the desk this day. And me and my friend went in, and I bought this pyrit heart that was cracked open, but it was like this big. And I wanted to have that because it was for me, for myself. And then I went outside to get my bottle full of water. We had to go to the kitchen to fill up the water because we couldn't drink the water from other places in the house because they were repairing some of the water.
Yeah, where the water is transported. Yeah, the plumbings.
Yeah. And when I got back, I had bought this pyrit heart, and with my card, and paid it, and I got the receipt and everything. And I got back to the store, and this woman behind the desk said to me, hey, did you lose a tooth, a children's tooth on the desk? No. And I said, no, I have all my teeth. And we all started laughing. But she said, no, this white little teeth with this golden ribbon on, did you lose it? No, I did not. Well, she said, have you lost a baby when you were younger? Yeah, I lost a boy in 5.5 months pregnancy. And that was when I was 19. So I'm 55 now. This time I was 50, I guess. And she said, well, I can say this is from that boy that wants to say happy birthday to his mother. Is this day your birthday? Yes, it is, I said. So this is from him. And I don't know what it's called in English, a port, when they can materialize things that comes from the other side.
Yeah, teleporting.
Yeah.
It teleported. Yeah.
So the tooth, the tooth was from him to say happy birthday to me at my birthday this day.
Oh, wow, sir.
Yeah, that
I never heard that before, but wow, that is huge.
yeah, it
Yeah, that
was.
is
It
huge.
really was. And the rest of the course, I got my I had another teacher called Libby Clark from there, and she said to me that this boy and my grandmother, they are gatekeepers for me when I work in the different dimensions and to the spirit world. My grandmother is far away, and my son is the first gatekeeper. So nothing bad can ever touch me or happen to me because they are always there. And I have a photograph of me where I have this boy at my throat as a golden orb.
Wow.
So the tooth with a golden ribbon on, or I don't know if it's not a ribbon, but it's a line of gold
Yeah,
around the tooth, and this orb is in gold also.
that is such a confirmation and such a huge, lovely experience that you're sharing with us. And I get very, very humble when you are sharing this. Wow. Yeah. So you did your course in Art of Finley, and then you developed a co-working with Andre. Yeah.
Mm.
So, and the beauty is that you have had one course with him so far here in Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are going to have more courses, and they are already full booked. You're in 2024 with your courses already, and they are all already full booked. So
Yeah.
there's a huge interest in doing these courses. So that is a receipt for that you are on the right track with your courses on English.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. So, and I do also know that after we have had this interview, you are going to work again. So you have this other forum that you are working within too, and you are going to have this tarot guidance. Um, would you like to share a bit about that?
Which one
Uh,
are you thinking of?
Yeah, well, the telephone where people can call you to yeah,
Okay, yeah. As a how do you say that in English? I sit and
spiritual guidance through
yeah, through tarot guide, huh? Yeah,
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 tarot guiding. Yeah.
yeah. And I've been there for, I started in November last year, and I just love it
Mm,
because I love to guide people. I love to give them personal development and also healing when I'm speaking to them, so
mm,
they can feel. There are a lot of clients on that tarot line. Vad ska man säga? When I guide them, they also can feel the healing in them in our conversation at the phone call. So I got a good response from them, and many of them get back to me and they say, "Oh, this happened like you said it would." And so that is a lot of confirmation, and that's strength. That is strength for me that I'm doing the right thing. So
mm,
yeah, I just love it.
mm. And I love the concept that you are taking your time out of your very, very busy life and everything that you are doing. Because even though when you look at your page, it's very professional page, and it's very easy to navigate around. And but there's a lot of work behind the scenes that aren't visible. So thank you once again for taking your time and being here and sharing this incredible journey that you have had, that have led up to where you are right now in the midst of your beautiful life and doing your life's passion and following your spirit-led light and being a way shower to everybody else here.
Mm.
So thank you, Carina, for joining me here.
Thank you so much for having me in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, I love that. And the beauty is that I want you all to, because we are going to drop the link to Carina's page so you can to navigate around it by yourself. And don't be afraid to check out her courses that she has. And as you have noticed, she speaks beautiful English, and she's having courses in English too. And people are, you're inviting people to join you in collaborations here in Sweden. So and that is something that is quite huge. And if you want to spot there, you need to dive in and be sure to book a course with Carina soon, because they are filling up really, really fast. So
And what's coming new is I have this domain, or how should I say it, Spiritual Academy. And that is something that I'm going to build on now. That will be connected to spiritual.nu now.
so you are going to be the Swedish version of Arthur Findlay.
Yeah, maybe.
Harry Potter school is coming closer. Yeah, I love it. That is a well-respected school. I just want to say that is a well-respected school, and lots of the earlier medium from England have all been through that school, and it's really, I was about to say dead serious, but in a way it's a multidimensional, very, very serious school. So yeah, that is a honor if you start a school. So don't be afraid to drop a link to us when you have this up and running, and I'm sure you're going to provide that in maybe in English too. What do I know, but I hope you will.
Yeah.
And I would love to to share more of your work as you are moving along. So thank you once again for everyone for tuning in here. I said it was on Heart to Heart, and we are. I went live on Gathering of Lights page, but it's okay. I've been sharing it to Heart too, so they are both connected here. So we are spreading our divine energies all over the place as we start here. So thank you once again for tuning in. And if you haven't seen the whole video, catch the replay. And this is Carina Hammarsten. Follow her on spiritual.now. Yeah. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.